Hey, this is Craig the Natural Medic, and welcome to another episode of the Natural Medic Adventures. In a particular episode, we're talking about these petroglyphs here in Capitol Reef National Monument. You'll see there's a crack over here, and that was when a natural rockfall occurred in 1952, and there was more petroglyphs and they fell off. Just a totally natural freak occurrence. But you can see some figures up there. Archaeologists and anthropologists called them the Fremont people, which is a term that they reject. They're the ancestors of the Hopi tribe, the Pueblo of Zuni, and the Ute and the Paiute. They call themselves the Hisatinomi. Probably mispronouncing that, but that's what it has here on the sign. Definitely a cool deal for sure. Is it art? Is it writing? Is it something else? Let's find out. Now, one thing you might notice across the street is grass, orchards, farming of different kinds. That was from the Mormon settlement of Fruta. It was a very remote settlement, and they settled in here amongst where native tribes had been for centuries. Not only did these tribes hunter-gather like most native tribes, they also were able to sustain themselves pretty well in this valley, considering that the river provides a lot of things for them. Now on this end piece here, let's try to zoom in a little bit if we can. There we go. At the very top there's some initials. I think that was what they consider historic graffiti because it occurred before the park was established, probably by the Mormon settlers. I don't see any glyphs right here, but let's move back down. So like I said, this was a fertile valley considering the desert terrain around here. The Fremont River was able to be used as a irrigation system for the farmland, not only for the Native Americans but for the Mormon settlers that came along later. And if you look, they have different yet similar implements. We have a Fremont Indian woman here with digging tools, a native shovel, digging stick, metate and mano, which is used for grounding corn, a sickle made out of a bighorn sheep horn, compared to the modern implements of the corn planter, the hoe, the shovel, the hay scythe. Similar, but improvements on the technology definitely with the Mormons. The Mormons did plant orchards here. They didn't have fruit this year because of an early spring bloom and then a late freeze. Killed all of the blooms, so no fruit. But normally you can come here and pick. And someday I'd like to do that. You have about 3,000 trees here in the orchards that were planted by the Mormons, following after the Native Americans. That's pretty cool if they use the same or similar implements to live here and supplement their lifestyle. Now on this side you have some petroglyphs in the rock. I'm not sure what we're looking at exactly. Maybe a necklace or a headdress. A couple anthropomorphic figures. Pretty neat. Some additional glyphs right here on this rock face. Can't really tell exactly what they are. Looks like a anthropomorphic figure to the left here, mixed in with some more zoomorphic figures like snakes and things like that. Pretty cool. Wind has picked up a little bit, so I apologize if you can't hear me, but I'll speak up a little bit. You've got some zoomorphic figures up there. Looks like bighorn sheep, maybe a bear or something like that on the left side of this kind of whitish, grayish boulder. And there's some more figures right over here. Pretty cool. And there's some figures to the right of those animals as well. Looks like some more right here, but it's really hard to tell with the shadows of the leaves. Well, pretty cool glimpse into the lives of the native people that were here. Interesting how both of them kind of followed similar ways. The native people and then the Mormons, they kind of realized this is a pretty good place to be and that this area could support us. So they had time for more leisure type activities, like making these petroglyphs here on the cliffs, kind of telling their story. What do you think about this? If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Think about subscribing to the channel for more content. For now, I'm going to take off for my next destination on my week-long road trip to Utah's Big Five and head on to Panguitch, Utah to visit Bryce Canyon and Kodachrome Basin state parks over the next couple of days. So if you don't want to miss that, make sure that you like and subscribe. Okay, talk to you later. See you on the trail. Bye.